કેટલા મળતો નથી. આ બંધ થાય ને, આ બંધ થાય ને, કરો ને એન્ડ બ્રોડકાસ્ટિંગ.
ના એન્ડ થોડું એ તો પછી એન્ડ થઈ જાય.
હા
શું કરવું છે? ઉપર જવું છે?
હવે આપણે ચાલુ કરીએ ને.
હા હા ચાલુ થઈ જવું જોઈએ અત્યારે તો. બરો ફાઇન.
આપણું પિક્ચર નાનું રાખવાનું.
આ પહેલી સ્લાઇડ છે. આપણું પિક્ચર નાનું એટલે બરોબર છે. તમે લાઈવ જ છો? તમારું લાઈવ ચાલુ થઈ ગયું છે.
Hello friends, welcome to KT Research Guidance Bureau. Myself, Dr. Kumudini R. Thakur, would like to give you brief idea. This bureau is very helpful to research students, those who are interested to do their PhD work and any other related studies about the research. This bureau is very helpful to postgraduate and undergraduate students for enhancement of their knowledge. And if they want to continue their studies, then how they can develop the skill and can get knowledge about the various subjects. Moreover, this bureau is also helpful to those students who are interested to appear and get success in NET, SLET, or any other competitive exams. So my humble request to you that please subscribe the channel, give your comments and do favor for the bureau. Today, we are going to learn types of audit. We can divide these types of audit in several segments. First is as per forms of organization. Obviously, you learn types of organization. In that, you learn sole proprietorship, partnership, companies accounts. So we will add two Other types of organization, that is trust and cooperative societies. So as per the type of organization, that is sole proprietor audit, partnership audit, companies audit, trust audit, and cooperative societies audit. Another type is from legitimate point of view, means it is compulsory. For that case, we can divide into two categories: voluntary audit and statutory audit. Third type is on the basis of time. If you consider time duration, then you can divide into two categories. One is interim audit and another one is annual audit. So far as continuity is concerned, you can divide into mainly four categories. One is continuous audit, second is complete audit, third is partial audit, and fourth, audit in depth, means detailed audit. Another category is on the basis of scope of audit. So far as scope is concerned, we can divide mainly into three categories: internal audit, external audit, and branch audit. And some special audit system is also there. In that one, cost audit, efficiency audit, management audit, and government audit, they are the most important type. I will give you detailed idea about some important types of audits are concerned, and we will discuss step by step each and every types of audit. So let's begin from legitimate point of view. So far as sole proprietorship and partnership is concerned, audit is not compulsory for them. But for the company and trust and cooperative society, it is compulsory. That much you have to understand. Now, legitimate top point of view, statutory audit means is compulsory audit, and voluntary audit means if you find that you want to authenticate the transaction, then generally maybe shareholder, maybe another person, or anybody can do voluntary audit. So far as statutory audit is concerned, for company it is compulsory. Why? Because in sole proprietorship, owner is the manager. In partnership also, it is little bit same. But so far as company is concerned, shareholders are the real owner of the company. And board of directors, they are maybe nominee or maybe other person. And accountant keeps the record. So, obviously, owners means shareholders are interested to get true and fair financial picture of the company. So, in case of company, it is compulsory. Second thing is trust. For trust also, it is compulsory. Why? Because generally people donate some amount to the trust, and with the help of that donated amount, trustees they manage the transactions. So obviously donor is interested to check whether they are using this money for the same purpose or not. For that, trust audit is compulsory. Then cooperative society, you can find several cooperative societies in Surat. For that also it is compulsory. because there is also a difference between ownership as well as for the management. For them, it is compulsory. So, for these three types of organization, and another one is government audit. In government institutions, it is also compulsory. So far as voluntary audit is concerned, it is for sole proprietorship. Why? Suppose a person is interested to purchase this business. So obviously he is interested to check financial position. That time they do this audit so that he can estimate buying price of the company or for that unit means sole proprietorship. Otherwise, if he rely only on owner's statement, that time that fellow can mislead the buyer. So that time they do this audit. Another thing is partnership organization. For the partnership organization, it is not compulsory. But if they want to admit a partner, that time how much capital the new one has to bring to get that idea, generally they would do audit. Or any partner now he is interested in retirement. That time this organization has to pay money to that partner, and obviously that partner is interested to get maximum amount, and the remaining partners are interested to give minimum amount. So they want to find out the true picture of partnership organization. That time they do voluntary audit. And so far as professional organizations are concerned, suppose charter accountants firm, lawyers firm, doctors firm, that time also they can do this voluntary audit. So obviously for this sort of organization, audit is not compulsory, but it is beneficial. Obviously, they have to pay money for this audit, but ultimately it is beneficial for all. So, from legitimate point of view, keep in mind these two types of audit. Now, let's try to understand interim audit. You know the simple meaning of interim. So, interim audit is an audit which is conducted in between two balance sheet audits. You know, annually they have to submit the report to the shareholders. And nowadays, quarterly it is compulsory to submit the report. So, between two balance sheet, if they conduct the audit, then it is known as interim audit. Another thing is interim audit is an audit which is conducted in between two annual audits to find out interim profit to enable the company to declare an interim dividend. If for the first half they enjoy handsome profit, and board of directors they are found that for the later 6 months they will enjoy the same profit. So if they declare more annual dividend, then generally shareholders expect this minimum dividend for every year. And obviously profit next year may increase or reduce. So it is better for them to give interim dividend. So if they want to declare interim dividend, that time they must have the true picture of profit. And for that, interim audit is one of the tool. And with the help of interim audit, they can find out interim profit and how much dividend they can declare. They can judge and they can get the idea. And it involves complete and detailed examination of transactions and review of records and accounts up to the date of interim audit. Means for first half, suppose they completed the audit, so obviously, for the later 6 months, they have to check the transaction and it becomes little bit easy. So all stakeholders, they have some confidence in their mind that for the 6 month company shows this much profit. So for 6 months, what will be the position? Only they have to judge. So interim audit is very, very helpful. Now let's try to understand the major advantages of interim dividend. Obviously, interim audit is helpful for publication and declaration of interim figures. Interim figures means for 6 months, what is the position? If they want to publish the data, then with the help of interim audit, they can publish it because they can get the assurance. Second thing is, if board of directors wants to declare interim dividend, then obviously they have to manage this interim audit. Then only they can understand the real profit for 6 months and how much in dividend they can declare, they can take the decision. So for declaration of interim dividend, interim audit is must. Next one is completion of final audits. As I explained you that for 1 year they have to audit their transactions, and for the 6 month, if the work is completed, then only they have to examine later portion, and in that case they can complete this later part audit very easily and within shorter duration. So it is very helpful for financial audit, as well as they can compare profit and other expenditure for first half and for second half. Another main benefit is moral check. Suppose if you want to check morally, then obviously that fellow must have some fear that that fellow will check each and every transaction. So he is supposed to manage properly. So for moral check, moral pressure, interim audit is helpful. And suppose if in partnership they want to admit a new partner, or if any partner by chance he died or he is interested in retirement, that time also interim audit is more useful because they can get the idea about the net worth of the organization, and on the basis of net worth they can estimate capital for new partner and how much they have to pay for retiring partner. So it is more useful. And for dictation of errors, it is useful because interim audit is very helpful. Why? Because generally they check each and every transactions. So I explained you errors and frauds. It may possible that by chance the accountant made the mistakes, and immediately if the auditor can find out the mistakes, he can take precautionary measures so that they can repair this mistake, and immediately they can give the true picture of financial reports. So these are main advantages of interim audit. Obviously, it is not only beneficial, it has limitations also. But these limitations, if you take care, you can omit them. First is affects routines. And this is your experience also. If you ask the clerk for a little more help, he irritates. And all the time he give the reason that I am very busy. If he is playing games on his mobile, even though this is the argument. So it is said that it affects routines. But generally, if your system is powerful, and nowadays we have computerized accounting system, so up to some extent we can avoid this effect. So it may not affect the routine work. Another thing is burden of work. It is said that they are overburdened, but really that is not the position. All students, they are also shouting that syllabus is too lengthy, but it is not lengthy. Hardly you have 4 units. But why it seems lengthy and burdensome to you? Because from the beginning, you are not interested in studies. In 11th hour, you try to understand your subject. So obviously, you have short time and you are in hurry. So you are unable to understand the subject. So this education seems burdensome to you, but it is not like that. Same is the case for interim audit. If they complete their routines in time, then they can spare some time for auditor also. So just it is the management of work. If the management of work is proper, then it never seems burdensome. So this limitation also up to some extent we can avoid. Another thing is changing in figures. When manual system was there, that time it was possible. How it was possible? Because the person audited the transactions for 6 months, and afterwards generally auditor never checks again them. So if the person wants to do some mischief, he has the scope. But so far as computerized accounting system is concerned, in that case, it is little bit difficult because on daily basis they have to take backup for that one. And if they change one figure, then obviously it affects number of ledgers. It is possible because If the person is very intelligent and smart, he can do. But in computerized accounting system, chances are less, but it is possible. Another one is more expensive. Actually, if you want to get accuracy, then obviously you have to spend more money. Suppose if you compare olden days highway and today's highway, then there is a vast difference. And we are shouting for toll tax. If you want to enjoy facilities and if you want to enjoy accuracy, you have to pay for that. So, if you compare the benefits of interim audit, then you will never say that it is more expensive. But obviously, you have to pay some money for that. So you can say that this is additional expenditure, but benefits are more. And to enjoy that benefits, you have to spend money. That is obvious. And another one is not useful for third party. Obviously, see our education system. For TY become students, research work is not useful. When you will enter in research area, that time it is useful. But you must have the knowledge about it and you must have the curiosity. If you have the curiosity, then only you can open new and new dimensions. So for third party, it is not useful. But if that person is interested to collect the data, then it is useful. To invest their money in that script, that is a different thing. But generally, we Indian people, we are not interested in so many areas and we are not ready to open the dimensions. So it is said like that one. Now, let's try to understand annual audit or final audit. It is final, that's why it is called annual. And it is annual, that's why it is called final audit. So, final audit is not commence until after the end of financial period and is then carried on until completed. Once you finish financial reports, then only you can conduct this annual audit. So if your books of accounts are not completed, then you can't do annual audit. When there was a manual system, that time they may take 3, 4, 5 months for completion of books of accounts. But right now, you can complete your accounts on 31st March after your office time. Because now only you have to enter the transaction and it shows the effect up to balance sheet. So from the next day, immediately you can start annual audit. So this is the difference between olden days books of accounts and today's books of account. And an audit which is started at the end of financial year when financial statements are finalized and it is carried out until completion. Obviously, you have to complete your financial reports. And after completion of financial report, you finalize the account and then you can start your annual audit. In case of joint stock company, it is compulsory by law. As I show you that statutory audit for joint stock company, it is compulsory. It is also known as balance sheet audit. Why? Because when we use the word financial statements, that time it covers P&L account as well as balance sheet. So it is known as balance sheet audit also. Now let's try to understand advantages of final audit. First and foremost is checking of complete records. Generally, financial statements reporting is over. So they can check complete data, and in this case it is possible. Second thing is it is beneficial for the shareholders because shareholders are the real owner of the company, and directly they are not included in management. So only with the help of audited report, they can get the idea about the financial position of that company. So it is beneficial for them. Moreover, it is suitable. Why? Because it saves time. Middle of the year, nobody comes to your office. So obviously at the end of the year they will come. So it is suitable. And only once they come or the visit is not frequent. So it save your money also. Means it is economical. For the company, it is statutory, means it is a legal demands, and none of the company can say that I will not audit my report. It is compulsory by law. And obviously your final audit improves the efficiency. If it improves the efficiency, efficiency means not only partial efficiency but efficiency as a whole. So profit will also increase. And if the company generates more profit year by year, then company can increase goodwill also. These are the main advantages of final audit, and this is a popular audit. So other benefits are also there, but these benefits are the most important benefits. Obviously, it is also not free from limitations. There are also some limitations. Let's try to understand one by one. First one is shortage of time. Obviously, auditor has to check all transaction within a stipulated time period. So he is unable to check each and every transaction because he has to submit his report within a stipulated time. So he is unable to check these transactions in detail due to shortage of time, and detailed checking is not possible, not suitable for big organization. If the organization is very big, number of transactions are very more, then it is not suitable because he has no time to check all these transactions. So this is one of the main limitation. And if auditor's visit is not frequent, then obviously he can't pressurize and no moral influence. And if the person is interested to do frauds, he has enough time and he can manipulate the data. So these are the main disadvantages of final audit. So let's try to understand difference between continuous audit and final audit. I gave you the idea about final audit. So continuous audit means generally they do audit continuously. So first point is period. So far as final audit is concerned, is done at the end of the year. And for continuous audit, it is continue for whole year or for round the year. Second point is scope. So far as final audit is concerned, detailed checking is not made and it is possible also. Why? Because time is very short. And compared to continuous audit, they are unable to check the transactions in detail. While in continuous audit, it is possible. And if the auditor has the doubt, he can check from the beginning because he has sufficient time and he is appointed for that only. Chances of fraud in final audit, it is high because only once the auditor visits the organization. Moreover, he has no time to check everything in detail. So, chances of frauds are very high. While in case of continuous audit, it is less. Because if the auditor has some doubt, then he can check all transaction. He has enough time for that. So it is possible. Then visits. Auditor takes one visit in a year. And in continuous audit, auditor takes many visits. It may possible that weekly, if the organization is big, then he can visit weekly, monthly, or twice after second month he can take the visit. But he takes visit many times. Dividend. For final dividend, final audit is useful. And as I said you that if you want to declare interim dividend, then continuous audit is very helpful. Not only this, it is helpful for both interim and final dividend. Another thing is scale of business. For small business, final audit is useful as number of transactions are less. But for big organizations, number of transactions are more. So continuous audit is very useful. So far as checking is concerned, in final audit, it, it is less check on the employees because he comes once and he is busy with his work. While in continuous audit, that person visits the organization frequently. So obviously, strong check he can keep on the employees. For final audit, fees are less, and in continuous audit, obviously, auditor visits many times, so fees are more. So far as time of conduct is concerned, final audit conducted after the completion of accounting book, while in continuous audit, when entries and records are being prepared, that time they can conduct it. And as if you want to manage effective control system, then final audit. And for poor internal control system, continuous audit, suitability point of view. Then for final audit, effective planning is not made, while audit planning is effective because accounts are prepared in time. So, first of all, check the size of the organization, quality of the management, then you have to decide. Now let's try to understand difference between internal audit and statutory audit. We also divide into three categories. First of all, point, internal audit and statutory audit. So far as appointment is concerned, the organization appoints internal auditor. In statutory audit, mainly in shareholders meeting, they appoint auditor and appoints by different authorities also. As per the requirement, they appoint the person. Second point is qualification. For internal audit, there is no fixed qualification, while in statutory audit, they have to appoint charter accountant only. In internal audit, the main objective is to detect and prevent errors and frauds. In statutory audit, main objective is to form an opinion on the financial statements of the organization. So, objectives are also different for internal audit and statutory audit. So far as scope is concerned, for internal audit, fixed by the mutual consent of the auditor and the management of the unit. So, the management and auditor, they must have some understanding. And as per that understanding, they decide the scope. Scope may be less or may be very wide. And statutory audit, it is fixed by the Companies Act. Previously, it was 1956 and now it is 2013. But there is no difference in 56 and 13 that you have to remember. So far as remuneration is concerned, who appointed internal auditor? Management. So obviously the management who appoints him fix his remuneration. And in case of statutory audit, the authority who appointed the auditor, they will fix the remuneration. And report is concerned, internal auditor has to submit his report to the management of the company, while in case of statutory audit, he has to submit his report to shareholders of the company in general meeting, and if another authority appointed him, that time he is supposed to submit his report to them. So far as removal of auditor is concerned, in internal audit it is easy because management appointed them, so management can remove. While in case of statutory audit, it is very complex because appointing authority is different. So management can't kick them. Now, some special categories of audits are there. Among them, special audit. For special case, they do special audit. Another thing is cost audit that we are going to learn in detail. Efficiency audit, it is to check the efficiency of the organization. Then property audit, company may have many properties and the valuation of that property is proper or not. For that, generally they do. Management audit, it is for the management eligibility. And government audit, many times government they do audit, and in government organization also it is compulsory. So among them, cost audit is most important. So we are going to discuss cost audit. A cost audit represents the verification of cost accounts. In SYBCom, you learn cost account. So you want to verify and checking on the adherence to cost accounting plan. As per your planning, your accounts are in the same line or not, they want to check. And cost audit ascertains the accuracy of cost accounting records to ensure that they are in conformity with cost accounting principles, plans, procedures, and objectives. You learn cost accounting and you also find out cost of production. So it is based on accounting principle, cost accounting principles. So they have to check whether they follow the same method or not. Second thing is for cost of production, you have a plan for material, labor, overheads. So as per the plan, you are paying or not, or it is more, then why it is more, and procedures and objectives. So the main objective of cost audit is to verify that they prepare accounts on the basis of cost accounting principles as per the company's plan and procedures or not. And nowadays, cost accounting and cost auditing is most useful because you are unable to increase the selling price. And if you want to maximize the profit, you have only one alternative, and that is cost reduction. So, right now, this era is for cost accounting and managerial accounting. And if you want to continue your studies, then you can find out good topics for that. Now let's try to understand objectives of cost audit. First and foremost is to establish the accuracy of cost data. You have to check that your cost data they are accurate or not. If they are not accurate, then your cost may be over or low, and it always affects profit. So you have to check it. Second thing is to help the management in taking correct decision. So if the management is interested to take the decision for cost control, cost reduction, or to purchase the material from this place or the other place, and what is the impact of that purchase on costing, then cost audit is more useful to determine the actual cost of production, and that you already determined, so no need to explain that point. And to find out whether each item of expenditures are properly allocated or not. You know, capital expenditure and revenue expenditure, and you have to allocate these expenditures as well as revenue properly. And the another objective of cost audit is allocation of expenditure, and it affects to the profit. Then to ensure that cost accounts are correct or not. If they are correct, then only you can find out real cost of production, and then you can at least keep proper margin and can enjoy profit. Otherwise not. Another one is to check up the general working of cost department. Obviously, if cost department is efficient, then your cost of production is less. If they are lethargic, then wastage is high, unnecessary purchase is more, and moreover, stock maintenance is poor, so it is burdensome for the organization. To keep control, cost audit is very useful. Now, advantages of cost audit we can divide into four categories. First is to the management. It provides necessary information. Obviously, if you want to get information for cost, you can get through cost audit. Second one is fix the responsibilities of an individual. And in India, we people, we want to enjoy credit, but generally, we are not ready to take the responsibility. If something is wrong, then first follow points the other one, other person to the third one, and nobody can judge who is really responsible. So, if cost audit is there, you can fix responsibility centers and then accordingly you can take the actions on that individual. Next one is ensures effective internal control. If effective internal control is there, then chances of variances are very less. In variance analysis, in standard costing, you learn variance analysis. And if you want to minimize the variances, then cost audit is must. And assist in the valuation of stock of materials. Obviously, you can judge the cost of material for that which method you adopted, LIFO, FIFO, HIFO, and on that basis you can value your stock. Second thing is to the shareholders. For shareholders, it ensures that proper records are maintained. And if they maintain proper records, then only they can give the true picture of the company. Second thing is ensures a true picture of the company's state of affairs and creates an image of the creditworthiness. And obviously, if everything's are on the proper manner, then it creates the image and increase goodwill for that company. Now, third is to the society. For society, tells the true cost of production. If it is the true cost, then obviously, comparatively, selling price is reasonable. And if they are unable to manage the variances and cost, then unnecessarily society people have to pay more cost for that. And it increase efficiency, justification to increase in price. And if somebody claim that this company unnecessarily charges more price, so in clarification and justification, the management can say that this is our cost of production and this is our other expenditure and we charge only this price, so they can justify the price and it is beneficial to government also. It provides reliable data, helps in fixing contract prices. If government want to fix the price of any contract, suppose bridge, roads, or any infrastructure facility, cost audit is more useful and facilitates settlement of trade disputes. If there is any trade dispute and workers are emphasizing that give us more compensation and company is unable to give, then government can find out amicable solution. Right now, our farmers, they are agitating. Government pass one resolution and unnecessarily they are agitating. But they are unable to say what is the negative side of that legitimation. So, till date, we are unable to find out the solution. So, this sort of situation may create in company. So, if cost audit is proper, then it helps to settle the trade disputes. This is one of the main benefit of cost audit, and that's why it is useful. And obviously, it is not free from limitations. First is expensive. It is little bit expensive because you have to bifurcate everything. For that, you have to appoint the another person. You have to pay remuneration to them and other records also for stationery and this one. But right now we have computerized accounting system, so we can save some expenses. Second thing is it is a lengthy process. When manual accounting system was there, that time it was a lengthy process, but now it is not that much lengthy. With the help of computerized accounting system, simultaneously you can prepare the account or you can filter the account, and after filtering you can find out the cost and everything. Then lost time, it is also not that, because in manual system it is said, but right now it is not that much. And uncertainty, this uncertainty also you can remove, it is not uncertain for that day because we keep historical accounts. Uncertainty may be for the future, but we keep the record for the past. So, up to some extent, we can avoid this limitation also. So, today I gave you the detailed idea about types of audit. Thank you very much. All the best. And please don't forget to subscribe the channel, give your comments and do favor for the bureau. Again, thank you very much. So nice of you. All the best.